In Brandon Beane, we trust. That is the credo for all of Bills Mafia, especially after this offseason. He is an absolute wizard. With that, I'm going to start this video with my buddy Mark in Nickel City Sports Corner.
What's going on, Buffalo sports fans? Mark here, and I'm back for another edition of the Nickel City Sports Corner. A lot has gone down since the last time I appeared on Sports Talk Buffalo. The Sabres finally fired Wreck-It Ralph Kruger. UB men's basketball earned an invite to the NIT, unfortunately lost by 2 points to number 1 seed Colorado State. And the Buffalo Bills have been hard at work in the early parts of the NFL offseason. Now, while plenty of NFL teams have seemingly overhauled their rosters and been Scrooge McDucking it during free agency, we see you, New England. Big baller Beane and the Bills have been crunching numbers and shifting money around during an unprecedented offseason in order to keep their AFC Championship team intact. There has clearly been a focus on in-house signings versus bringing in new talent. Buffalo has either extended or re-signed 7 players from last year's team that helped take them to the conference title game in January. However, they haven't completely ignored the free agent market and have added 4 new members to Bills Mafia with the signings of punter Matt Hawk, tight end Jacob Hollister, QB Mitch Trubisky, and veteran wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders. With what could only be compared to just a little bit more than some pocket change and cap room left, I suspect Brandon Beane will be looking to do some bargain hunting to round out his squad before turning their attention to the NFL draft that's just a little over a month away now. Could players like Cordero Patterson, James White, Malcolm Butler, or even former UB Bulls and Buffalo native Stephen Means be headed to the Bills in 2021? Or could they be trying to keep another one of their own from leaving in an Isaiah McKenzie? Whatever they end up doing, I and the rest of Mafia are no doubt living by the credo, in Beane we trust. That will do it for me today, guys, but before I go, I just want to give a quick shout out to my favorite underrated underdog and the reigning Offensive Player of the Year, running back Ladarius Galloway, whose team, the Wild Aces, won the inaugural FCF People's Championship this past Saturday against the Glacier Boys. This dude is special and definitely should be on the NFL, CFL, and XFL's radar. Way to show up and show out, Gway. Thank you all for tuning into STB, and like the rest of you, I look forward to hearing Drew's thoughts about the latest news on our favorite Buffalo sports franchises. Catch you all later.
That was by my buddy Mark with the Nickel City Sports Corner. Something new I have added not that long ago. I try to incorporate that as much as possible. Get another voice in here when I'm not interviewing people so that you guys are not just looking at my ugly mug all the time and listening to my stupid voice. But here it is. For years we have heard the culture must change. The culture must change. We need culture. We need a better culture in our at One Bills Drive. And ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have done just that. They've created a culture in which players want to be here. Brandon Beane was able to restructure several players in the offseason, simply shifting money or giving them less money to free up space. These guys want to be here. They're taking less money to be part of what is building in Buffalo, being built and still building in Buffalo. The Bills were able to re-sign with this freed up cap space. They were able to re-sign guys like right tackle Darrell Williams to a 3-year, $24 million contract. He looked absolutely fantastic against Pittsburgh, and TJ Watt, he made TJ Watt, who is an absolutely feared end in the National Football League, he made him essentially a non-factor. Fantastic year for him, and he is rewarded with a 3-year, $24 million contract. Something else you talk about with culture is, and it is going to be evident in the next signing that I'm going to talk about, is Levi Wallace. Levi Wallace signed a 1-year, $1.75 million contract, and it was reported that he told his agent, I don't even want you to counter other offers because I want to play in Buffalo. I want to win a Super Bowl in Buffalo. That is absolutely huge when you think about the mentality of these guys when it comes to free agency. Free agency is their time to potentially pick and choose what teams they want to go to and how much money I don't say how much money they want to make, but pick the best offer. And for a guy to say, I don't want you to even consider another team, I want to be here, that is a testament to what is happening here in Buffalo. And of course, the biggest re-signing in the offseason, in my opinion, that a player that was already on the Buffalo Bills was outside linebacker Matt Milano, somebody that Bills Mafia had no illusions would be coming back to Buffalo. Everyone really thought he was gone, that he was going to make his money, he was going to get out of here. Just 26 years old, probably going to be a coveted linebacker in the NFL. And Brandon Beane freed up enough cap space, and he wanted to be here so much that he gave the Buffalo Bills a hometown discount. He played just 10 games because of injury, but recorded 45 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 9 QB hits, and he's also fantastic in coverage. In this past season, he had 3 passes defended and an INT. My goodness, Matt Milano can literally do it all, and his presence on the defense helps somebody like Tremaine Edmonds immensely. Matt Milano signed a 4-year, $44 million contract with the Buffalo Bills, which seemed like a massive discount for the Bills, as they were saying, if I remember correctly, he could make anywhere from $14 to potentially $15 million a year, and he signed for essentially $11 million per year with the Buffalo Bills. That is an absolutely huge hometown discount to be part of something that the Buffalo Bills are building here in Buffalo. Brandon Beane was able to keep a majority of his 13-3 AFC appearance team from last year. However, there was a fairly big cap casualty, and that was wide receiver John Brown. Now, that move saved the Bills roughly $7.9 million in cap space. Brown had a career year in his first season with the Buffalo Bills, amassing 1,060 yards receiving. He had 6 touchdowns, but injuries derailed him in his second year. And unfortunately, that along with the emergence of Gabe Davis and the fact that Cole Beasley, Gabe Davis, and the rest could essentially do the job without John Brown made him expendable. And that was probably the biggest reason why the Buffalo Bills moved on from John Brown. There were 2 big free agent signings that the Buffalo Bills did get, in my opinion, in this offseason. The first one of the 2 was the free agent's signing of the very versatile wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders, who showed, for 1 year, $6 million, who showed that he had plenty left in the tank, even though he was 34 years old. When he signed with New England, he had 61 receptions for 726 yards, 5 touchdowns with New England last season, and you could move him all over the field, and he's a fantastic route runner. He may have lost a step or 2, but he is still plenty fast to get behind defenses and still be the burner to blow the lid off of defenses for the Buffalo Bills. And the other signing that is absolutely huge is something that is a backup position. And that is crazy to think about, that the Buffalo Bills could be so deep that one of their best signings is a backup quarterback. The Buffalo Bills signed former starting quarterback Mitchell Trubisky to a 1-year, $2.5 million contract. That is absolutely incredible. What a great job by Brandon Beane to sign Mitchell Trubisky. This guy is big and strong and athletic. He is not as athletic as Josh Allen. He doesn't have as good an arm as Josh Allen, but he can do a lot of the same things that Josh Allen can do, and he is far and away a better quarterback than Matt Barkley. So that gives the Bills a massive insurance policy moving forward into next season. To give you an idea of how much better he is than Matt Barkley, Trubisky is 29-1 as a starter, and last year He had 67% completion percentage, 2,055 yards, 16 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 195 rush yards, and a touchdown in 2020. Now, obviously, he did not play the entirety of 2020, but you see that the Bills have massively upgraded their quarterback room with somebody that is an insanely good insurance policy just in case something were to go horribly wrong next season, that the Bills would not just be essentially out of contention, that they could compete until Josh Allen could come back. Mitchell Trubisky has shown that he can win games and he can give you good, solid quarterback play. And with the way the Buffalo Bills offense is run, he can do a lot of the same things and a lot of the same things that Josh Allen can do, and that is going to be huge for the Buffalo Bills. That's going to do it for this episode of Sports Talk Buffalo. If you like what you're hearing, tell your friends and tell your family. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss a single solitary episode. If you're listening to this on audio only, you can hear me on any of the major podcasting websites, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and of course, Anchor. You can email me at sportstalkbuff1, or you can email me at sportstalkbuffalo@yahoo.com or sportstalkbuffalo@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at sportstalkbuff1. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic week.